limited time, but we want to make the most of it. We're excited to be visiting in the Philippines. We've spent a week in El Nido, a beautiful place that we've never been to before. It's always great going to places you've never been to, especially resorts, little mini paradises, right? Anybody been to El Nido?
Yes.
Yes. And Cecile has not been here. I'll let you tell why we're here. And we brought a crew back with us, her family. I've not been here in 15 years or more. And she's not been here in 37 years. We've been married for 12 years. And so she has 2 boys we'll introduce you to. And I have 2 kids, so we have 4 kids together. You guys know our family. We maybe never met before, but you know of Dexter and Bertie, yes? Maybe?
Yes.
Yes. And I've traveled around the world because of this business, the Amway business, and been to 85 countries or so, expanding the business. And my parents took the business to a phenomenal level, accomplished so much, impacted so many people, and I kind of got the vision. I wanted to do the same thing. I didn't see, looking around, a better way to live your life, to be able to have the things you want and be able to have a nicer life if you wanted, nicer things, and also to be able to show other people how to do the same. Right? And that's what we do in the business. And the better we do that, the more people we help, the more success we get in return. We understand the concept. It's a very unique business. I've learned so much about business, so many other businesses in that time. My dad, when I was young, because of the success in this business, he invested and bought other businesses just to understand what that was like. Because he came from very humble beginnings. His dad was a plumber. You know what a plumber?
Yes.
So very, nobody went to college in their family. My mom's dad was a farmer, so very humble beginnings. Didn't know anybody that really had so-called made it. And so we wondered what that would be like other businesses. He knew this was the business, but everybody sometimes would tell you that, oh, that's a better thing than Amway, or, being in this business, or having that job, being a banker, or architect, or whatever it was. So we had many businesses, but the truth is most of those businesses failed. And if it wasn't for the Amway business, which I call the golden goose. You know what the golden goose is? Yes? No? The golden goose, right? It's the goose that lays the golden eggs. And that's the Amway business. It's the goose that lays the golden eggs, but you have to know how to do that. And how to properly care for, raise, and take care of that goose, which is your business. Right? And so, I was raised by entrepreneurs that were in hot pursuit of their dream of seeing how far they could take this concept beyond what they ever imagined. Because they got in the business for very humble goals. My mom wanted to redecorate her kitchen. Something about women and redecorating. And my dad's ultimate goal was he just wanted to be in business for himself. Yeah, maybe make a little bit extra money, but not have to go to work for somebody else. To wake up in the morning and look in the mirror and know you're the boss. You're the one that calls the shots. You decide what you're going to do that day, how much you're going to work, or how little bit you're going to work. And that's what he got in for. And if you know the story, after 3, right away they experienced a good bit of success because he did this every day, night and day, when he was not on his job. And then 30 days later, his job told him that he could not go meet Rich DeVos. He had an opportunity to go meet Rich DeVos because he qualified at the top of the scale, the bonus scale. And they told him, no, you have to work. And he says, no, I can't work there. They said, no, you have to. And he says, well, then I'm not working here anymore. So he quit, probably earlier than what he thought. But he replaced his income. He was already making more money than his job. Right? And 3 years later, he was flat. Didn't keep growing because he didn't have a mentor. He didn't have what we talk about today as a system. You know the system?
Yes.
Right? Books,
Yes.
audios we call podcasts today, conferences and meetings like this. We hear from other people to show you the way. He didn't have anybody. He wasn't connected to anybody upline. So he had to learn all these things and fail and fail and fail and fail. And most people do everything they can to avoid failure. Successful people realize that's the pathway to success. As long as you fail. When you fall, just fall forward. Keep moving forward. Keep moving forward. And knowing you're moving forward. You're learning. You're growing. You know, failure's not the destination. It's a process you're going to go through to get to where you want to go. But once, 3 years later, I don't know if you know the term, sick and tired of being sick and tired.
Yeah.
They got tired of being plateaued, flat, not moving forward. They knew this was a great business, but they were frustrated they weren't making it work better. And people would come in the business and people would go out of the business. And they were frustrated by that. But there's things that they decided that they were going to start again, which we all have the opportunity right now. Beginning of January is a new year. We start the new year, we start again. Every month we start our business over again. And that's a perspective, the mindset that we have. Because every time we start again, we're smarter. We know, some people get tired and say, I'm tired of starting over. But that's what successful people understand. All the time we're learning, we're starting again, and we know now more of what not to do. We didn't know before. So we start with an advantage, and we start with more determination that we're going to reach the goals and the dreams that we have. And so they came together and they made a list of the things they're going to change about their life, about their business, how they're going to operate. And they came up with 12 things that they were going to do different. And that was a big difference. It made their business different. It was a foundation. You know, they were doing 7,500 PV at the time. 6 months later, they're doing almost 50,000 PV a month. After 3 years of being flat. That's exponential growth in a short time. What changed? Nothing. The town, they didn't move. Their upline didn't change. You know, the downline didn't change, although they added a lot more. It's their mind, their perspective, their vision, their discipline, their focus, and the decisions that they made. And maybe I'll tell you if I have time what some of those were, because they're as relevant today as they ever were. To know, but you got to know, most people struggle. What's the biggest struggle in our business? Is it product delivery? Is it the price of products? Is it competition? Is it the biggest problem most people struggle with is belief. And it's belief in, does this business work?
Yeah.
But really, ultimately, what they're questioning is, will it work for me? It means, can I do it? But that's the way my parents started out. They had doubts and they had fears. My dad, getting up and speaking like this right now, when he started, the man who spoke to coliseums of 80,000 people, had struggled talking in front of this many people. He said, I could do this business if you don't ask me to get up in front and talk to people. So if you have a fear of talking in front of people, that's not a limiting factor. The only thing we have that limits us is our beliefs. Our limiting beliefs is everything. When you understand that, how important that is, our perspective is everything. And for me, when I started getting up and making presentations, doing meetings, that was the biggest fear I had. I said my dad could not be as fearful as me. Nobody could. I was scared to talk to people. You know, my knees would shake, my mouth would get dry, and my brain would go blank. They say that your brain begins working the moment you're born. And it doesn't stop until the moment you die. Except when you're in front of a group of people. That many times I experienced because of fear. But all you got to do is you keep doing it and doing it and doing it until you can handle it. And then it's okay. And then you begin to like it. And then you begin to get good. And everything is that way, but you got to persist. More than just people who have a casual interest. How big is your dream? How big is your dream is always the question. And I'll circle back to that in a minute. But I want to see if Cecile wants to say anything. I'm just going to ask my kids to say something. We're here with my children. I don't usually ask them to, but you know, you don't get a chance to hear them or hear us. So
great. Thank you for your warm welcome. You know, it's a dream come true to come home to where I was born, because I only spent 11 months here before my family moved to the United States. So to see the vast change of the Philippines and Manila, just Manila, has just been mind-boggling for me. But it's also been very heartwarming too. I have a few relatives left here in the Philippines that are either brothers or sisters of my mother or father, but they were raised in Manila, in Quezon City. I was born in Quezon City. Don't even recognize it now. And I'd only been back here to the Philippines twice. The last time was when I was 17, so I won't date myself, but that was a very long time ago. It was decades ago. So it's good to be back. It's good to be back amongst Filipinos. I wish I could greet you in Tagalog, but I regret this, I never learned my native language. So English will just have to do for now. But we talk about dreams and the ability to achieve dreams through this business. And one of my personal dreams was to make sure that our children were able to come back and experience their heritage. So for them to be with us is a dream come true for me. It's been wonderful. And you know, Steve comes from a perspective of Dexter and Bertie, his parents, but my parents come from a very different perspective, but also very common here in the Philippines. Because I know that there are a lot of people who are educated here to be professionals. My parents were doctors. They were educated here in Manila. They went to medical school here. And the reason they wanted to be in the United States was to be able to practice psychiatry, which was their specialty, their medical specialty in the United States. But one thing that I did see my parents do when they pursued their dream, their American dream, was they really struggled. It was really difficult for them, raising 6 children. I'm one of 6. Trying to raise a family and afford a nice life. I really saw them struggling. One thing that they did not get to experience was their freedom of time. And I think that's the big difference in their traditional path versus the path of the entrepreneur through the Amway opportunity and the Amway vehicle. Just in the 12 years, almost 12 years that Steve and I have been married, I personally have traveled to now 53 and 54 countries.
Wow.
So the ability to travel, the ability to share the opportunity of this business with other people, to serve other people through this business has become a real passion of mine that I didn't know I had. Because my background is in broadcast news. I was a TV news anchor prior to meeting Steve, and I was also in a technology sales field. So it's been a very different world for me. But we love what we do. We love sharing the opportunities that this business has to offer. We love raising our children in the environment of the values and principles that are based in the system, that what we call the system now. And very proud that all of our kids have a strong work ethic, which is very important in this business. So my message to you today was really to just share what a wonderful opportunity the business is, and the fact that you can enjoy life, the fact that you can pursue some of your wildest dreams, and I hope that you guys are thinking about what your wildest, most audacious dreams are, because they can be realized through this business, through hard work and effort, and having a passion to just help and serve other people. Now, one of my goals is probably to learn my native language now, so that maybe the next time we come here, I can actually speak to you in Tagalog. But let's introduce. You want to introduce the kids now?
Sure. They can all come up here together. We're very honest and very proud of How's it going, guys?
Yay!
How many have children? Yes? Some of you? Some of you don't? The rest of you? Very important, right? Your kids are everything, right?
Yes.
And a lot of people get in this business because of a motivation to provide a better life for their family, for their children. To get the little extras, if it's to be able to get braces on your kids' teeth, send them to a school of your choosing, be able to pick a neighborhood that would suit what you want better, to involve them in sports, to travel the world even, whatever it is. And we all have that motivation. And I'm thankful that my parents raised us. We got a lot of benefits from being their children and being able to participate in some of the benefits of the business. But I'm glad that they took the time to instill principles and values and lessons in us. Things like, no one else is better than you, but you're not better than anybody else. Don't act like you're somebody or better than somebody else, but also don't think less of yourself that you're not as good as anybody else. And also they taught us no free lunch. You're going to have to work for whatever that you want. And then you can have everything in life that you want as long as you're willing to work for it. And in this business, you're willing to help other people get whatever it is they want. And so we're very proud of at their ages, their maturity level, where they're at and growing, and it's fun to watch. I'll let each of them tell you their name, how old they are, whether they're up here, if they're in college or out, and anything else they want to, any thoughts or lessons or advice. You want to start off?
Sure. Hi, everybody.
Hi.
My name is Grace. I'm 20 years old, and I am studying at college. It's called Clemson University in the United States to go into law school.
Hey guys, I'm Chase. I'm 25. I currently am a service consultant at a Lexus dealership where I live in Charleston. I had a few things I wanted to tell you guys here. I want to start off with saying that it's a gorgeous country that you guys live in. I'm very honored to be here and see some family members, some aunts, uncles, cousins that I've never met before. It was nice to come here with my mom's side of the family, 19, 20 of us, and see everything. So it was really cool. I did want to share one thing that I've learned in my line of work in the car business that I've really brought home and it's really helped me out in my 2.5 years that I've been doing it. It's a very competitive dog-eat-dog world in that business, so it's really important to see yourself at the top and to try to get up there to be successful. If you don't perform, then you're kind of out. That's just kind of how it works. So one of the most important things I've learned is just to out-hustle and to outwork your peers in your competition. That's the best advice that I can give you with this business, at least. If you can do that, then your success is going to be guaranteed. You don't have to be the smartest or the most skilled in the room if you can outwork the person that you're sitting beside. If you can put in an extra 2 or 3 hours a day into what you're doing, then that's really all it can take sometimes. This group that you're here with today, it's your team. It's very important to work together to build this business that you're in. But if you can learn to outwork them just a little bit harder, then your personal success in this business will outshine the run. It's just how it is. And that will really bring you to the top in this business. So I just wanted to share that with you guys.
Hey guys, my name's Dillon. I'm the second youngest out of these kids right here. First of all, I've never been in a room with this many beautiful people. I mean, that was really amazing. I guess this is where me and my mom and Chase get it from. So, got to thank you all, of course, but and the country as well is super beautiful. I just want to thank you guys for having us. It's been a pleasure being here. And I just want to talk to you all today about, really, I wanted to cover equal opportunity. So, I don't know if any of y'all know the Michelles from Haiti. They just hit EDC in Haiti, in one of the poorest countries in the Western Hemisphere. So, you might ask yourself, how did they reach EDC in one of the poorest countries in the Western Hemisphere? How did they find money for that? Because, we went there maybe like 6 years ago, something like that, and just the amount of poverty there was just crazy. People really didn't have anything there. So you wonder, like, how did they find that money? Well, successful people, they have eyes that see money everywhere. They have eyes that see money in every position, in every person. They have eyes that see that any person can do it, and all of y'all can do it as well too. So I just want to share that with you, and I also want to share one of our good friends. He just joined the car business where Chase works at, where I'm going to be working at as well. And this guy, he actually lived here in the Philippines. He was a missionary for a good bit, for a few years. And he just joined the car business. And he had his first month in the car business selling Lexuses. And he's never sold anything in his life. He knows nothing about Lexus. Fresh guy, fresh meat in the car business. And, he had a goal for 28 cars a month, which is a pretty big goal. Not a lot of people do that. And so everybody was kind of laughing at him. Even the managers were like, hey man, you might want to drop it down to 15 cars, But he was like, no, like I'm going to hit this goal. And so it was on the last day, and he's been going in like an hour early this whole month. And this was in the month of December. He's been going in like an hour early before everybody else has been going in to try and hit that goal. And so it was New Year's Eve, and, on New Year's Eve, everybody's like, I'll probably go in later, I don't have to go in early. Well, he decides to go in early. And, a customer comes up to his car and meets him, and he's like, hey, I want to buy this car. And he closes him before the doors even open. And what's important about that is that was his 28th car to get. And if he didn't show up early, if he didn't take that initiative to show up early and get that sale, he wouldn't have hit his goal of 28 cars. And everybody else would have been like, oh yeah, he had a good month, but he didn't hit his goal. And for him, he would have been proud, but, like everybody, when you don't hit your goal, you're still like kind of bummed out, even if you did well. So I just want to share that with you because, even if you didn't show up early and take that initiative to show up early, he wouldn't have hit that goal and he wouldn't have been proud of himself. So that is why hard work and determination is key. And make sure you're driven, because motivated people don't go anywhere. Driven people destroy motivated people, because motivation is short-term and drive is a long-term thing to have. And that's what, Dexter and Steve and Doyle and Jeff, they've always had, is they've had drive, and that's how, they've become so big in the business. So I just want to say thank you guys. Appreciate it. Thank you for listening to me. Hope you all have a good one.
Hey everybody, I'm Noah. I'm 22 or 23 now. I just turned 23. I'm the second oldest. I'd like to ask for another round of applause to thank my dad for all of his hard work this year. This is almost the farthest place in the world away from where we live. So, yeah, it takes a lot to get your whole family to a place like this. It's really cool. So something that my Papa Dexter taught us, and I'm sure all of you have heard it, the dream is big enough, the facts don't count.
Yes.
That's one of his famous quotes. And a personal dream of mine is to be successful. I'm sure I share that with many of you. And the fact about being successful is that it's not easy. It's very difficult. You're going to have to work. Nothing worth having. I think it's Theodore Roosevelt says it. Nothing worth having is easy to obtain. So you just have to work hard and stay focused. And
Great. Thank you guys. I'll let you guys sit. You don't have to stand up.
那一块儿他们向左转向。现在还没结束呢。咱咋结束啊？
You'll have to let me know how we're doing on time, just so I don't want to go too long.
Yes, yes. I think that we can take a photo
Okay.
before we done.
Okay. Do you want to do some photos now?
Yes.